Welcome back to the channel. Now, I watched the Love Island reunion, and as a therapist, I see a lot of toxicity, unhealthy relationships, parasocial relationships the world has become obsessed with. And are people really prepared to enter back into the world once they leave the villa? I really don't think so. We saw a little bit of that on the stage. So let's get into all these aspects of mental health related to the villa. But first, you need to make sure you hit that like, that subscribe button, join the family. Okay, we are growing over here. Now, I've been wanting to talk about this for a while because I did a little bit of research. A lot of things have happened to people since leaving that villa, not just this season, but past seasons. And a lot of it I feel like has been covered up and people don't want to talk about it. But you have to think about all of it because it's affecting the whole world. The whole world has fallen in love, lust, developed these relationships with people they don't even know. You can't go nowhere on social media without some kind of clip, some kind of sound going viral from the villa. But what happens to these people once it gets quiet? And as you know, it's only certain people from the villa get the most attention. Leah, Serena, Janae are the top three who are getting a lot of attention. But I saw some things come up on that reunion, and it got me thinking, how come no one's talking about how in the last 5 years they've had 3 different people, former cast members and a host, unalive themselves? Yes, they have a history of not properly taking care of people's mental health, and 3 people associated with the show are no longer with us. And some of that has been from the reactions of the hatred, the bullying, leaving the villa, living up to the standards. But we're living in a world now where there's this intersection of social media, reality TV, mental health, and it's really important to talk about how people, in my opinion, are not prepared to re-enter the world. And we saw that most recently with Kendall and Nicole. And when you're looking at them, looking at this dynamic, I never thought it was really real. Okay? Now, Kendall came off back into the world with his phone to controversy. This video was released, and looking at it from a therapist perspective, I see both sides. I see how Kendall decided to, if you don't know, they ain't really together no more. It was never gonna work anyway. But according to Nicole, he lied about the videotape of him coming out twerking in a hotel room with some men. And people's minds went to, oh, is he on the queer spectrum? Is he gay? What is he doing? And of course, he got his phone back to him within probably like hours of him leaving the villa. And his phone is blown up with messages about, what are you doing in this video? Who is this? Oh, Kendall must be gay. How can he do this to Nicole? All of it all at once. You have to think he has not had his phone for, at this point, a month and a half, 2 months. Most people can't even go probably 10 minutes without picking up that phone and scrolling. So he has the pressure of returning to the real world and this girl that he loves in his face all at the same time. And I think mental health wise, I don't feel like there's a lot of preparation to return to the world, to have a regular life. And we've seen him get bullied. We've seen him go silent. We've seen Nicole go silent. And we've seen how the contestants have to perform a certain way. And I think in a lot of ways they are controlled by producers, by each other. I think also by the expectation of thought of like what is going to come out this for what is going to come out of this for me. And so you have all that pressure, producers for 24/7 telling you what to do, what to say. Most of these people have a producer attached to them who is assigned to them. And once you have to get back to the real world, there's no cameras. There's no producer telling you what to do. You really don't know what you're walking into once you walk out of that villa. And I think a lot of people, we've seen contestants just crash and burn from Love Island. And unfortunately, 3 people are no longer with us because of those pressures, because of mental health, because of the things that they were probably already dealing with, plus the pressures of the show. And you have these contestants who are young, impressionable, and watching it from a therapist perspective, they already have so many issues going on that I really don't think having cameras on you 24/7 is a good idea. Okay. And then you have the media. You have the media who they don't even know. These contestants did not know how much influence they have had on the world since entering the villa. And you walk out of it, and there's people wanting your picture, wanting interviews, podcast interviews, sponsorship deals. How do you deal with it? How does Love Island really prepare you? Now, I did some research, and I did find out supposedly they do link you to a therapist who gives you, I think, 8 to 12 sessions. I'm not sure if this is true. This is what I did on my Googles, that you are prepped mental health wise after the show, but I don't believe it. Watching Nicole cry on that stage, and depending on who you believe, whose side you own, I'm not really on the side of Nicole. At times, it felt like she was being selfish. She was thinking about herself. What about me? He's not standing up for me on social media. What about what people are saying about me? It just feels like she cares so much about the parasocial relationships that people have with her. And it's gone to her so much that her focus is all about what people think. Why isn't Kendall talking? Why isn't Kendall standing up for me? People are telling me this. People are telling me that. You can tell people have been whispering in her ear about their relationship. And she has, unfortunately, allowed all that stuff to get to her. I think at times also it's the mirror of social media. As we're talking, I'm thinking about social media and how people just consume themselves with so many aspects of Love Island. I've seen so many channels, TikToks, creators just make their whole channel obsessively, in my opinion, 10 videos a day, something about Love Island, a clip, something that I'm going to do related to that because I want to build my followers. And it in some ways it gets obsessive. The social media is mirroring, reflecting, and often distorting the realities of love. Is this really love? Is this love in the real world, or is this love on a TV show? Because people really grapple with, they want their relationship to look like this. I want to be like these people. In some ways, it creates a fantasy. People create fantasies about these people in their minds, and they're able to develop a sense of connection. And in some ways, not a healthy connection. Even with Kayla and Aaron, there's just so much toxicity there. And do I really think this is the end? I really don't think so. I think they go back and forth. Taylor doesn't have the best self-esteem. I think she has a very anxious attachment style. I think that Aaron at times is anxious, avoidant, and you have these two people with these toxic things about themselves, these anxious attachment styles, and we're going to get, boom, what we have gotten. Okay, it's not healthy. But no one is talking about what happened to those 3 contestants. Is there follow-up? Have we heard from other contestants on Love Island from the villa? And oftentimes, depending on how you look, you're going to get bullied. If you don't look up to the standards, you might not even get no attention. We saw how some of the bombshells this season were bullied. You saw what happened to Kane. Once he made that statement, he was making some racist, biased comments. And then he was taken off of the reunion. Oh, buddy, you can't come no more after making them comments. And just how he was pleading and trying to say he was sorry. And then you saw, I think her name is Adrena. She put out a mental health statement talking about, SI awareness, helping people, the mental health capacities of some of these people, and how I've heard quotes saying that the reunion was traumatic and it caused a lot of trauma for some people. So once again, once those cameras stop rolling, once them checks are cut, what happens? Is there preparation? Is there any type of, hey, here's a number to a therapist. Hey, we found you a therapist. Let's set up your first session to get you ready for the real world. No. People are left to just be on their own. And I don't think that we talk enough about mental health, parasocial relationships, and the added environment of social media, which is ruthless. Is no time limit. Is no telling what people can dig up about you, what they will say about you to get clicks, views, and sometimes group. It's groupthink. Just getting together. Let's talk about why she looked like that, about her outfit, how she thought she was going to be able to get Cordell. And I've seen so many bullying about, I don't know what her name is at this point, but the bombshell who came in, and she had the bun. So many people ridiculed her about her hair. Okay, her coming back and even her saying, I thought it was going to be a good look. I know, guys, it was a bad idea having my hair slicked back like that. But there's just so many mental health things, the bullying excessively. And you saw how Leah tried to make it so that, hey guys, all my fans, everybody up here, I love everybody on this stage. They're all my family. I don't want anyone to be hurt. Please stop. Are people going to stop? Mm-mm. And for myself, can we move on from Love Island? Can we talk about something different? I still see people trying to make more content. Girl, 10 videos a day about some people you don't know. I get it, it's the money, it's the clicks. But you also have to think about now those people who made all their content about Love Island. What am I going to talk about now? What am I going to do now? The anxiety, the pressure they have put on themselves to become these Love Island content creators. But yes, if you did not know, there have been at least 3 people who have taken their own lives because of the show, because of things that they were going through, because of the ridicule, social media, these parasocial relationships, perception versus reality, how you perceive these people versus the reality of who they are, how they show up in the world. And I'm curious to see how Kendall does, how all of them do, because right now everyone's focused on the girls, the popular girls. But what happens when that limelight starts to fade for the ones who aren't as popular, who are not being as seen, the things people put themselves through to continue to have that fame, that limelight. But we have to focus also on these being real people. Outside of the people you fell in love with in that villa, there's a real person behind those followers, those clicks, those TikToks. Okay? And so I want people to think about the relationship you develop with people you don't know. Okay? Now, these are just my thoughts as a therapist, things that were on my mind. But how do these shows prepare contestants once they go home? Do they do anything? And what is it going to take for real concrete change to happen where people's mental health is not being sacrificed for capitalism, for clicks, for money, for episodes? But I want to know your thoughts. What do you guys think of the mental health aspects? Did you know that there have been 3 SIs related to Love Island, primarily in the UK? Let me know your thoughts, because of course we can get into it. Now, make sure you hit that like, you hit that subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.